Hi guys, I'm Chuck Parsons. I'm the Stemco DSM for the Jackson Group in the Rocky Mountain and Pacific Northwest regions. Today we're going to talk about wheel end and wheel end maintenance and to make you a better asset for your customers. First of all, we want to talk about hubcaps. If you look at a hubcap, there's significant things that you need to pay attention to, like the coloration of the oil, or if the gasket on the outside of the hubcap is leaking out, it's telling you that that wheel end has been compromised and the temperature has exceeded 250 degrees. A standard wheel end is supposed to operate at ambient temperature plus 100 degrees. So on a normal day, a wheel end should be operating, let's say the temperature is 50 degrees outside, it should be operating at 150 degrees. So if we're looking at the hubcap and we're seeing that there's indications of carbon on that window, we know that that temperature has spiked. And you might talk to your customer about that wheel end and the wheel end components within there. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the wheel end and what products you should be using in the applications out there in our industries. So when we're talking to our customers about their wheel ends and what products they're using, first we need to identify what industry they're in. There are certain industries that the grit guard seal does better than any seal at in the markets. That would be construction, mining, timber industry. Anywhere where you have heavy contamination, the grit guard wheel seal is going to be the one that deflects the most contamination from going into that wheel end. And we'll explain why that process is a little bit later. The Discover seal is the best seal on the market. It gives you 5 times the life for the standard seal. It's a high temperature seal, so it'll go 100 degrees hotter than any seal in the market. It's the best seal for your over-the-road hauler or trucker or commercial trucking user. The Discover benefits are the reason why we put it into the trifecta hub. And that's something that we're going to talk about later on in this training, is the trifecta and the applications and the ease of use for that particular product. So when we're looking at wheel end maintenance, the first thing we need to identify is the spindle and check out that seal surface. So when the customer has this bare spindle, you want to look for blemishes or damage on that seal surface. If that seal surface is damaged, then you need to use some kind of compensating speedy sleeve to drive onto that seal surface to help with any damage within there to seal that off so that you don't get a leaky seal. If there's no damage, then you can use your standard Unitie seal for the installation procedure. Other things that we look for are contamination, so we need to make sure that this is cleaned off. We also need to look for sharp points here on the spindle. If it's sharp, then we need to dull it down because any seal that gets installed is going to cut because of that sharp edge. Other blemishes we look for is out of round on the spindle. If it's out of round, that's an indication that we had an improper bearing adjustment. We're going to talk about the Stemco axle fasteners Pro Torque and Zip Torque and how that will help with having a proper adjustment on that wheel end. Other things that we look for are coloration. Yellow signifies 300 degrees. Brown signifies 400 degrees. Blue signifies 500 degrees. If we see those indications on the spindle, we need to replace that axle. So the customer needs to buy a new axle from the Jackson Group at that point. Other things that we're looking for are the threads on the spindle themselves. The nice thing about the Pro Torque nuts is that they will clean up blemished threads. So the last thing that we want to talk about, you guys, is temperatures. The standard operating temperature on a wheel end is ambient temperature plus 100 degrees. So it depends on the temperature outside. Today it's 35 degrees out. So if you took an infrared and put it on that wheel end, the temperature on the wheel end should read 135 degrees. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen to our tech talk today. If you need any seal tools, please do not hesitate to contact me. We will provide the tools at no charge for any of our seal installers. And if you need any technical information for our seals, please use the stemco.com website as a reference. Also, my contact information is on there. If you need any supporting literature, wall charts, or torque charts, don't hesitate to call me and ask me for these. I can provide these to each Jackson Group store at no charge. I look forward to working with you guys this year out in the field and kicking butt and gaining sales. Thank you.